Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the best place in the world to play Ark. I always say that when I'm on one of the Patreon servers. Normally, I'm on the vanilla cluster, and we'll be heading there shortly. But to start today's video, guys, we're actually on our creative building server, where we have the amazing-looking steampunk mod, among others, and a custom map. This is called Unza, a mythical land. I'm going to make a point of doing an exploring video. Check out some of the cool base building locations. That will likely have come out before you're seeing this. So go have a look if you want to see more about this map. And what are we doing today, guys? What is going on the creative building server? Well, we've just had a contest organized by Lizzie with quite a few people entering, and the person I picked to win was Webby, a longtime member of the Geeks community, and this is the spot he built. Now, I will warn you, this Unza map is still in development, so Webby's build has been sort of consumed by the floating island upon which he built it. We're going to be using ghost mode in order to check out his build, and then later in the video, we're going to head to the vanilla servers, to the cluster, to the survival servers, and we're going to check out Webby's base. That's sort of the prize for winning the contest, is a one-on-one base tour. I'm excited to show that off. So two things I'll mention, guys. If you want to join us here, click the Patreon link in the description, and if you don't, but you need a server of your own, our community is sponsored by G-Portal. There's a link for them in the description that gets you a discount and lets them know we sent you, so you can do that as well. But without further ado, guys, let's get into it. So the contest was to build a UTC build, and to build an Arahli The Geek build, and to do them with your own style, add in other things to it. And Webby has done a sort of airship platform base, I guess you would call it. So he's built these sort of arms out. At the end of this one is the steampunk hot air balloon. Obviously, he has the giant steampunk airship out there. And right here, this isn't his Arahli build, but this is an Arahli design. He's done a flying raft version of Arahli's nests. If you go look on my channel for a video called something like double starter raft design, something like that, it's based on this. One of Arahli's coolest designs, and he has gone all out. I gotta say, my favorite part of this, one of my favorite parts of this, is the paint scheme. I think this is mud. I think there's olive, and I think there's cyan involved in everything here on Webby's place. Whew, don't fall off the edge. Frame rate struggling a little bit on this map at the moment. Sorry about that, guys. It seems to have recovered. And to get into this place, to really have a look at what Webby has built, we're going to need to use ghost mode. So I'm going to fly and initiate ghost mode, and we should be able to clip into these rocks. I've also turned off ground clutter, as that will help. The first build, the first sort of primary build that Webby did was based on Arahli's Ragnarok base that he built on the server where I did the exploration series, the Iron Mine server, and obviously the place has been filled with rocks and things. The map is still in development, but you can get a bit of a look at the design. It's got this wide open front, this sort of big pointed roof on top, and he's gone all out and added in glass, which looks very cool. Have a look up here. Even a little sort of pointed topper up here with lights in it. We got lots and lots of mods on the server right now, so guys have no limit to their creativity. And you see more of this amazing sort of olive green, cyan, and I think that's mud color scheme. It looks so good on the Industrial Forge. Shout out to Webby. And you can see this pattern he did on the floor. He does it elsewhere in the design, so I'll show you that in a moment. Let's quickly poke our heads in here and see what we're missing. So he's got all of his crafting stations. You got everything you would need to craft and to build, and then through here are a couple of the other designs. Before I get to the one that is one of my designs, let's take a look at some stuff he's done that's unique, that's sort of custom to him, a unique design. So this is his Dino Barn. You will notice that every creature in here has the same color scheme. Because everyone on the server has admin abilities, you can custom color these things in shades of cyan and olive. I think it looks pretty good. There's his Doties, his Anki, and these RGs are making a ton of noise. Look how good the Tapaharas look in that color scheme. And then we'll poke our heads in here and look. There's a whole fleet of the new-looking RGs. I think they look pretty fantastic with these sloped hatch frames. I think they look awesome. Ooh, even a Thyla hiding back there. So this is a unique design. This isn't based on anything I've done or Arahli has done, but it's sort of made to look like it goes with our builds. And if we poke our heads, ignore this one immediately on the right. That's where we're going to come back and finish. He has one other design over here. This is the one that's sort of entombed inside the rocks that I showed you earlier. So if we poke our heads in here, this is like a sort of a hangar bay for a floating raft. If you don't notice it, this is a floating raft. He's done this kind of custom painted metal floor and built in a style that sort of matches the build that he did based on Arahli's. Lots of metal, lots of glass, and lots of stone. And the build of mine that he took on is one of the most popular ones ever. Tell me if you recognize it. The rhino might make it obvious. Let's head down here and we'll cut through. So boom, there's his teleporter pad. This also consumed by rock. This was all on a nice flat platform earlier, but the devs have clearly changed things around. So there's his teleporter pad, and if we come over here, you will recognize, boom, that is the elevator workshop. So he's gone ahead and added in a mechanical rhino, some stairs to elevate the whole thing, and he's built otherwise a very similar design to mine with the greenhouse glass on the front and the metal walls encased in these stone dino gates. One of my favorite designs I've ever done, and he's done it really true to form. There's a couple things that are unique. These little balconies out here were not something I ever added. But when we get to the inside, you will see he's kind of done a very true recreation. In my version, these are painted forest green, tan, and brown. He's obviously gone with this olive and cyan color scheme. I think the vaults look great. Same thing over here. More of the vaults, and then right here is the elevator. For the elevator workshop, I think I'm safe to click walk, and we can actually use this elevator to go up. Let's see. And this, in my design, was sort of the cooking kitchen area. I had included fridges, and he's gone ahead and included some of the modded cooking stuff that we have. These are all from Eco's mods. You have stove, little water pot, dye mixer, all that kind of stuff. He also has traditional preserving bins and industrial cookers. Those look great with paint as well. And then these balconies on the side, to which he has added these little front balconies. I think it's a good design. And if you remember, the upstairs of this place has a bedroom and a greenhouse. Let's head up and take a look at the top story. All right, so here we are, guys. Check it out. There is Webby, and he's wearing the... He's wearing the very cool steampunk armor. I went and put some of that on myself. I think it's a pretty cool look. I actually gave myself the old captain's hat to go with it. And over here, got a little bit of storage. You can see this is the steampunk storage. You can see armor, boots, weapons, all that kind of stuff is stashed back here. You've got a little sort of privacy wall divider. And behind there is a bathroom with a little bathtub. You can see those little shelves with plants and ointments and all kinds of stuff, and then he has a barber chair in front of a mirror. Very cool interior design. If you look, those are little running lights from the Advanced Rafts mod up on the walls, and then over here is the actual bedroom side. So he's got a little writing desk in front of the glass looking out over this cool-looking world, and then a wardrobe and a cool-looking, is that a steampunk bed? Copper bed, most likely. I think the whole place looks good. And then he has continued my original inspiration, which was creating a spot out here for a greenhouse. Now, he's got the farmer and the gardener. I can't remember which one's which, farmer and gardener, and he's given them each little bits of the steampunk armor. You can't dye it, I don't think, but the armor looks really good on both these guys. And then, if you have a look around, you will see what he's done here is actually crisscrossing, overlapping all sorts of crop plots. I think there are a lot of large crop plots, and then the stuff that's in here, if you look, these are all unique from the Eco Trees mod. So you've got mushrooms and snapdragons and poppies and marigold clusters, and then over here he has actual plants growing. That is a citronal plant, and if you come around the back, it's all jammed in with all kinds of cool stuff. I have no idea what that cool plant is, but there's actual savo root, actual long grass, all of this stuff growing back here mixed in with all this. And let's back out of this. So there you go, guys. That is Webby's design. I think it's very cool. He took my elevator workshop, Arahli's workshop, from the Ragnarok Explorers Iron Mine server, that one, and he's included a couple of his own custom buildings along with a teleporter pad and these airship docks. I think the whole place is really fantastic, and that's why I chose it to win. Shout out to Lizzie for organizing the contest, and to each of the other people who entered. It was a tough choice choosing somebody, but I thought this place really stood out. Now, as a reward, guys, I'm headed over to Webby's place. He's going to tour me around his spot on the Ragnarok map, and where we're headed is a survival server. So while all of this stuff was built using admin commands, everything you're going to see in the next portions of the video, people have built for real. legit. And this Anza map is coming to an end. Our time for this map on this server is just about to be up, and we're going to be rolling to something different. And I might be coming back here to play a little bit more often and doing some more creative building. So with that in mind, guys, I'm going to take a little break, and I will come back to you from Webby's place on the Geeks Ragnarok server, aka the best place in the world to play Ark.
But you pick somewhere and we'll work from there and go around.
Right. Well, okay. Well, I think my first instinct, the thing that stands out to me, I think I might start up where you have your wyverns. Like, I kind of want to see the little canopy up there. Maybe tell me about how you did the roof and stuff. Because I know you said you going for a little Viking inspiration.
Yeah.
And I never did that crisscrossing. Those are...
No, I looked at Norse and Nordic structures and stuff.
And there's
a lot of them use that crisscross.
Yes, yeah. I found it hard to do. There's a couple of different ways to do it, right? This is a full crossover, and I think you have a half crossover on your other building over there.
A lot of them have halves, but
yeah,
given the scale of this roof, I wanted to
make it prominent,
make it full, so that it was more obvious, more, like I said, prominent.
Mm-hmm. And so this obviously was built at the end of a process where you'd been building up from below, right? Or did you?
Yes.
Okay.
I started, the first building is here, this which is now the workshop and the armory.
I'm circling around behind you. Yep. I really like the chimney on top. I wish I had seen that when I was doing Viking stuff. Maybe I'll get back to it.
Oh, that was that if you come down into the little courtyard in front of it.
Yep.
You can see in through the doorway if I move out the way.
I'll hop off for a sec.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's offset. So that chimney, I've built a similar structure to this before, but it didn't suit the previous base on the old server.
Right.
So I decided to replicate it. So it's a 6x6 room with a pillar at the center of 4 foundations.
Yep.
And then a ceiling put on top so that I can build the walls down and have an offset.
I see what you mean. Yes, yes.
Pillar running all the way through.
And I'm going to show people how that ends up looking on top, because that's the cool part. Okay, let's do a quick landing. This is the half version of the crossover. So that kind of means you need to trick your foundations to overlap a little, or use a pillar to offset them if you can't
used pillars.
Crisscross, basically. But we have the no collision thing, so we can just merge it all.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's going to be hard to create this. Actually, impossible.
I think it's possible. I think it is possible if you use a combination of S Plus and vanilla.
Right.
I think you can cross the two that way.
Right.
So it should potentially work.
But what you end up with is these two are crossed over in the middle. So this is a foundation begins here, and then a foundation begins on the other side, and ends up having them cross over, and then you have this lines up perfectly with both, rather than extending too far. I don't know.
Yep.
I like it. Kind of hard to get. If you don't land in the perfect spot, though, you can't really get right up on the little groove here, right?
Oh yeah.
There we go. And you can see.
I mean, I built this with next to no flyers. I was using grappling hooks everywhere.
Right.
But if you look down, there's permanently burning torches.
Yes.
Placed at a couple of points.
I like
down
that.
Through it, so it looks like the chimney's always lit.
Yep. All right. Now it's nighttime.
Just as darkness descends.
Yeah, that central building looks like the spot to go. Is that a big kind of bonfire out above the entrance there?
Yep. But so that everything sort of perpetually burns, all these bonfires, I've just stuck torches behind them all.
Okay. Yeah, I've done that before too. It works well.
Yeah, you did it on the swamp ruins on the temple.
Right.
Yep. I took inspiration from that straight
Okay.
away.
Right.
And I used in the ruins, you've got these little arch doorways through everywhere.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of having like 100 doors into one place.
Nope. Well, that was that swamp thing had the 3 big arches, and I went, I don't need 3 doors. Let's make 1 door, and I'll use the other 2 for sort of like alcoves almost. And then right above the entrance is a mega bonfire, and that's the same thing where it's lit up by torches. It looks like it. Yeah. I see individual flames throughout there.
Yeah, there's a few up there.
So there you go, guys.
And so that they stuck
little adobe fence.
Yep.
That works.
In the same color as the background, so you don't really see it.
No, you don't, and it's ramshackle enough that it just sort of blends in. It looks like it could be wood for the fire. You mentioned being very proud of this door directly ahead of us. I have to say, I agree. It looks pretty fantastic. You took one of those arches and ended up with a gate directly centered in it, so I know the challenge there.
Fortunately, the dynamic gates, which is what this is, don't snap so much.
Right.
You can just place them. So,
right. So that's what this is. These pillars are creating a gate. That's a Structures Plus item.
That's actually, those pillars, I believe, are the gate.
Yes. Yeah. I think you did it the best way you can do it. I don't think there's a better way to do it. I'm just looking at it. I really like the way it looks when it's open and when it's closed. It looks fantastic. And usually you have to sacrifice and go, okay, well, this side will look good, and on this side it won't look good. But
it took many attempts to get it.
Ta-da! Pretty awesome.
Many thanks to Talden for sticking with me and coaching me through that one.
And people will have just seen your contest entry base with the vaults. This is almost the same color scheme.
Same color scheme.
Same color scheme, slightly different variation, but yeah.
I just got fed up of having so many refrigerators upstairs. Because there's only so many tables I can put down for stuff. So, stashed away.
Yep. Beautiful. Painting the backside of an adobe wall, the strapping, whatever you'd call it, is always stressful. Because you can't do it with the other bits. The wall takes color differently than the door and the window frame do. And the slope wall. So you kind of have to go all walls or no walls if you're going to do that kind of painting. But I like it. The dark works in here. It adds detail. If you didn't do that, it would be a little too... I guess just because it's you painted the adobe to match the ruins, right?
Yeah, and it needed to kind of break it up a bit.
I think you're right. If that was tan or it blended in, it would just be too much. This room would be too much of the same. But you have a nice little bit of detail, and because it goes above the vaults, it's not too much. I like it. All right, so where do we go from here?
I built out across here because I needed somewhere to stash.
Here's what I mean about the door frame thing. That paint just doesn't...
Yeah.
Since it came out, I've been begging them to fix that, but...
that's black, the same as everything else is. And
right. What can you do?
Yeah, I mean, there's the walkway across here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Beautiful. Open to the sky.
Yeah. It's good to get a bit of natural light. This is the Taproom. Where all the beer is made.
Okay. Here, let me see. Taproom. Nice.
Make a little bar.
This is all you need. A little homemade bar. That is hard to do. Yep. Okay, yeah, that's a perfect way to do it. I like the mugs, too.
Yeah. Each of the mugs is full of beer.
And now that the sun comes up, people can see. Yeah. I probably should have, if I haven't done it yet, let's pull out. No, I can't remember what. Number 3. There's my GPS. On the Ragnarok map, this location's amazing, guys. It's right by the river. We're downstream from the community center, which is an epic ruins thing. And this whole area is surrounded by what looks like rice paddies, basically, right? These gently tiered levels of planting. One of the first spots that caught my eye when this part of the map came out. And you're right on the edge of the dunes on this side. You're right on the edge of the river on the other side. We'll find a spot to properly show it off.
It's a really good location for access to things as well because it's of the river and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But here I had to use... With trying to get the wooden walling to fit everything. I kind of had a protrusion over this side.
That's not too bad, though.
Yeah, so if you open it...
that worked out well.
Yeah.
Check that out. Oh no, that's great, man. That shout out to Eco for making our places look so like that's all one person basically giving you this freedom.
Yeah. To start with, I initially thought, you know, I'm never going to use that much of the stuff, but it gives a real sense of lived in. It makes your base a home.
Yes, because in a base like this, you're going to design, like you talked about, building after building for utility, going, okay, well, now I need a space to do this, now I need a space to do that. As that happens, you're going to end up with empty spaces and go, what am I going to do with this area or this area? And you go, I need a little something here. It's not 100% useful, but...
Like initially this, the armory above the crafting room.
Yep.
This was my living area, so I had my bed and some personal storage and stuff up here.
Yep.
But I just wasn't that happy with it.
In reality, you can probably get away with 1 or 2 storage containers and call that your armory, right? So if you're going to dedicate a room to it, you want to be able to make it look and feel like an armory. And Ark doesn't give you a ton of that. But with Eco, you get these armor stand models, as well as, this is one of the coolest looking things, this table here. It's
the weapons table,
the only complaint that we all have is we wish we could customize it so that it's not
like
anachronistic.
Like,
if you're going rustic, that you can get rid of the fab weapons. That would be
my Viking base equipped with homing missiles, C4,
right,
and assault rifles.
I'm sure if you could do this with just arrows and swords and who knows,
battle axes.
I was gonna say if you're gonna be able to.
Wish Ark had axes like it does in Primitive.
Exactly. Well, if Eco can create all the ammo and stuff, that's not like obviously a bunch of the items on here are based on items that are in our game. A bunch of it has just been created, so you could easily create battle axe and different helmets. And
I built this, and I've really started to like the 3x3. It feels like a good gap, if you know what I mean.
Yes, it does. And it's got a gate frame on one side, and this is a pillar?
Yeah, gate frames all the way around with pillars to frame the
entrance.
3x3 space. And walls, half walls, and stuff like that.
That's what this is here, guys. The half wall.
And it's also a half height up from the rest of the foundations.
Right. I like that. I noticed that was a variation you did on the elevator workshop, was having it actually be raised up enough that you wanted stairs to get in the entrance. I like that.
Yeah. And then I originally had like a little sort of pet pen over here. But
for like shoulder pets type thing?
They're dotted around the place, but
okay.
It was... I got given a cyan Dillo, and it looked fantastic.
Right.
That was before the Easter event.
But not a whole lot of use for it.
No. But I was going to have some vultures and stuff like that down there.
Yep.
I didn't feel it.
Yep.
And then I kept thinking to myself, well, I keep having to run around, grab a couple of saddles from in the barn, and then I have to go and grab a long neck from in the armory and stuff. So
this is just sort of
a
quick dump
stuff. Yeah.
This is where,
and also a spare bed. So if I die and I need to get back quickly,
right,
I can kit up straight from here and everything, but I don't have to store all of my key equipment here.
It's the Batcave. I like it. The wood goes well with the thatch when you're painting the adobe and not painting anything else. The wood and the thatch actually match.
Yeah. Okay, all this thatch, all this wood, it's all the natural color, and I've just used tan on pretty much everything.
Right.
It's tan or black. That's pretty much all I've done to paint the base. Mm-hmm. But we come to the garden, which to protect it from vultures and stuff like that at the time, and also to make sure it all has 300% greenhouse, we have invisible S+ glass all the way around.
Okay. Right,
except for this doorway here.
Okay, so I'll show people. Ready? There you go. So you can take glass, you can change it. This is what I did on my little base on the island.
In fact,
So you can
what
make
I'll
it.
do here is select different model.
Oh yeah. Boom. There you go, guys. So how high does it go? Nope.
Just
That's it. I see.
Just a bit there.
Right. So I can get on top here. Yep. Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. That protects the whole area. It's not obvious in any way.
Yeah, and everywhere inside gets a 300% greenhouse effect.
Of course it does. Now this at the bottom, if you guys are wondering, this is from Advanced Rafts, this short little rail. It's from the dock stuff, right?
Yes, it is.
I like it.
This is the dock railing.
And
I think this is dock railing 1, and there's another one which is like a rope, like a little rope one.
Yep. And this is something I did ages ago that I always liked, is taking these S+ double doors and sinking them so they're halfway in the ground. You get this little garden gate. Love that.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone had figured it out before I did, but when I first did that, I was delighted.
Let's see. So that's my sort of mini barn.
Yep.
Crafting area. The main building, at the upper level of the main building next then.
All right.
Yeah, and for the most part, I've managed to line everything up so it's pretty square, but you do get the few gaps and stuff. And I wanted to do something with this little bit here, but I can't really think of anything at the moment.
Yeah, that must be a chat. Like, if you guys look, these are all ceilings that are lined up here, not sticking out the edge. That takes a lot of time to get perfect. And the final compromise I'm sure you made was this, where you went like, okay, tiny little gap here, but you get it's right here, it's flawless. So there's no alternative.
I basically treated it the same as doing a room in real life. When you paint, you start from one corner and you work out.
Right. Same with flooring. You don't want to have to be cutting pieces for both sides of the room. You want to start flush in one corner and deal with the imperfections of the build by the end of it.
A little bit of ivy from the garden.
Yep.
Mod.
Yep. I mentioned you just use the decorations just sort of where needed. I mean, this is that one we pointed out earlier. A little bit of ivy right here.
And then this is my private quarters.
Okay.
So everybody and everyone has to have a bathtub.
Are these what are the vertical lines? Are those fence supports? Is that what that's called?
Yep.
Okay. Right.
Yep. Supports, because I wanted it to look like a window without it just being a hole.
Yep.
And I didn't want to use greenhouse. I didn't want any glass.
The only thing
there's no glass anywhere in the place apart from glass walls set to fully transparency, like
right
this
on.
one.
Oh, beautiful. Yep, that works. The only thing your bathroom is missing that your sample build had is the little shelf with the ointments and plants on it.
Yes,
I noticed that in your other bathroom. You should add that to this one.
That's because that adds something like 100 to your build limit.
Oh Lord, okay.
It uses something like 100, so I can have 100 walls, or I can have one little shelf with some oils on.
Fair deal. That works. I understand.
Yeah. And then there's the Advanced Rafts 4-poster bed, which is just fantastic.
Yep, and it looks very good with your color scheme too.
Yeah, there's
like the blacks.
Bit of olive, some black and stuff. So the wardrobe skins mod, some fantastic, like the your friend on your shoulder there. He's got a hat from there. They're fantastic. Yeah,
that's a little musketeer hat with a feather on it for this guy. It's a pretty good look. The only thing, by the way, this is missing. The skin that I need is an afro wig so that I can put it on my jerboa. Like, I can grow an afro, but I need my jerboa. His name is Jerbob Ross. He's from Major.
Ross. Fantastic.
Give me, whoever makes this mod, give me a skin with an afro. I don't know what it would do for people. Maybe you'd just be able to swap your regular hair color out for a Bob Ross haircut. But imagine this Jerboa with a little fro on him. He'd be amazing. Someday.
It's got to be doable.
Someday.
And then there's
Vultures?
my vulture. Yep.
Oh, I like
I've just
this
been
little
collecting
roost.
some really colourful ones.
Yes, you have. Is it a lot of this stuff come from the Easter update?
All of it.
Yep. Imagine the people that just spent so long trying to get the perfect color combination, and then Easter hits and it's just walking past.
And then we've got the drum kit.
Yes.
Which at night is all lit up with, I can't remember if it's 6 or 8 torches just for this.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah,
and
pretty much everyone that visits, they can't resist just jumping on there and bashing a few keys.
And most people just stash their drum kit in a corner. You've gone and made it a centerpiece with an amazing view.
Ooh, we're going into darkness again. Better get you into the barn before it goes completely dark, because
you got it.
Because of the scale of the inside of the barn. Yeah, this is quite a few people have sort of come in and gone, "Wow, this is huge."
Mm-hmm.
And,
it really has to be, though, right?
Yeah. Again, this again is quite organic, because it originally ended where I am now.
Right.
And then I built these 2 little annexes off for more land dinos, because I found that I was trying to hatch things like gigas and stuff, and I wanted to be able to get through, and it was just blocking all the space, so I needed a bit of space off the side.
I like the matching Morella tops; those look great.
But yeah,
oh,
and then there's
no, we're good. That was
good. Yeah. Please, no.
No. I think
no,
I think I have.
Jay.
I think, unless anything's been, I've unbound every group whistle that ever matters. Yeah, don't worry. The only ones I ever use are U, T, and Y, and that was T. So you can't do too much damage with T.
Same one here. I accidentally hit J the other week.
I did that too many times.
Everything went.
I just don't need J. I don't need it. Don't need it.
Yeah, somehow you managed to get one of my Yankees following you.
Okay. Oh, well, there you go. Like I said, you can't do too much damage with T, but I must have somehow been looking at him. I don't even know how.
Yeah. Yep, he's come from way over the other side here. Well, actually, yeah, there's
yeah, I don't
need here, which I'm super proud of.
How could I have possibly teed him from that far away? Magic.
Ark. There you go.
I must have had my crosshair on him, though. That's the only way it would ever work. That's wild.
I think these are the highest level Dodies we've managed to get on the server so far.
Are these the ones that Wiz had been working on for so long? I know.
Got up to 345,
okay.
And I've managed to somehow get that to 349.
Yep. And what are his Thornies got to some insane level in the 400s, right?
They're directly above us, 406.
Right.
Which, bearing in mind the max dino level on the server is 180.
And the Ankies are in the 370 range? Is that what he got them up to? No.
Ankies
are these the same ones?
346.
Okay.
Yeah, these are his. These are directly from his breeding stock.
Cool.
So I can't wait for him to come back, as crotchety as he was.
I told him he would be missed, and if he didn't come back, that his creatures would be, the legacy of those creatures would be around as long as the Super Bears.
Definitely.
Speaking of Super Bears, people, check out the levels on these. These will be on our servers for all eternity. No, I think your contest entry base was a very good representation of you, in a sense that, like, there's lots of things in your Dino Barn. You had a couple of Dodies that were colored to match, and you had your insanely colored Tapaharas at the top of your base, and it's like this place has a lot in common with your contest entry place in that sense. I just liked how you picked 2 things of mine in Arahli's that looked like they might have been built by the same person.
The elevator base was the first Ark video I ever watched.
Of mine?
Or of anyone's.
Oh, wow.
First Ark video I ever watched.
That's amazing.
And saw it, loved it.
Well, there are a lot.
The mechanical rhino?
Yep.
The mechanical rhino was...
I like that.
Just, I was sort of looking at it going like, how can I finish this off? And it was like...
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know Steampunk gave us that. But no, man, there are a lot of ways to play this game, and obviously you can be a breeder, or you can be a builder, or whatever it is. But I mean, every once in a while, a guy like me, I mean, I probably make 100 videos that don't have any crazy impact. Every once in a while, you'll make one video that has just the right impact on somebody that makes them go, oh, you can play the game like that. And it changes their perspective a little bit.
I'm quite into my building.
Yep.
I love building projects. You know, taming, all well and good. PvP, maybe a little bit, but not greatly. But it's the building aspect, the freedom of building in this game. If they could, keep moving in that direction with it, there's nothing else you can want.
My man, I don't think we could ask for a better outro. I'm going to have a bit of editing to do to get this to a sensible length, but I don't think we could ask for a better way to outro it than you talking about your love of building, showing off this place, having just won a building contest. I think if we've seen everything there is to see, I think we're good, man. This is fantastic. And we had seen everything there was to see, guys. Thank you for sticking with us for a 35-minute marathon of a video. If you're still watching, I love you. Thank you to Webby for giving me the tour, and I wanted to finish the video by showing off the place where he did his building. It's kind of hard to tell with his magnificent base build here, but this is the location. These are the coordinates on the Ragnarok map. These are the sort of tiered rice paddies, and those are the ruins upon which his massive base is built. Guys, this server, this Ragnarok one, is the most populous one we have, and it's full of folks like Webby, a lot of moms and dads who take their free time and spend their time in-game with us here as part of this amazing community. I had to do a lot of editing, but Webby and I chatted about what a family this crew is. I figured I would take one more opportunity to pimp the place out and to invite you to join us and to become one of the folks like Webby who plays and builds here. It really is a truly special place, and I feel spoiled to have so many amazing people here. I also got the opportunity at the end of our session to hang out with his son, Aiden, who apparently I made his day because I'm a fan of his videos. He made my day by being so excited to meet me and chat with me. I'm spoiled, guys. It's amazing. So, Aiden, if you're watching now, tell your dad he's an amazing builder. And Webby, thank you for the tour, my man. All right, guys, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm UTC, and I will be back in your life with another Ark Survival Evolved video in no time at all. See you next time.